name's Maleik Cadogan.
My name is Caleb Keith.
Hello, my name is Colin Webb.
So I guess I identify as a Jamaican Ghanaian. So Black Caribbean.
I identify as a black male. That's the ethnicity I am.
I identify as a mixed race male.
I've had a good couple negative encounters I would say are pretty racially motivated.
I have, in fact, experienced negative experiences as a black male.
Yeah, I'd say I have had some difficult encounters. I remember when I was living in a student accommodation and I was on the phone to my friend in London, and they all actually got together and had a word and were like thinking of how to ask me to leave the house because they were somewhat worried or scared because I was loud on the phone. That's something that always stuck with me. I just thought that was a bit, you know, not great.
I've probably the biggest memory I have is being stopped outside my house when I was like 15. I was wearing a grey hoodie, red t-shirt, some like black tracksuit bottoms with a lime green line down them, right? Wasn't very fashionable. And I was told that I met a matched the description, which I thought was pretty bullshit given my attire. But yeah. For like, I think right now for young black creatives, it really depends what industry they're trying to make it in. Things like Hollywood, I would say, are still very much who you know, because it's still a very white dominated industry. It can be a lot harder. But I do think in terms of like coming up through social media, things like YouTube, it is starting to get better for us. We are starting to be, because we're able to support each other a lot easier. So yeah, that would be awesome.
Young black creatives definitely have a harder time, I believe, getting into the industry. Any industry that they're trying to get into, and they have to apply themselves a lot harder and force the connections and make sure they maintain the image that may be harder to maintain than others might have to.
I feel like we're in such a good age that we can make all this stuff, we can actually just try, and I feel like the doors are opening somewhat. Even if there are still levels and foundations to cross, I think some of them are starting to open.
Every day is a good day for change.
I feel like things are getting better. I do feel like things are getting better. As much as we avoid the word "dame," I think that things are getting pretty good. There are a lot of opportunities being put out there specifically for those communities.
I think yesterday was the day for change, but I'm grateful that things are changing, things are looking up.
I do worry that, like, whilst there's a lot of applications are specifically accepting these people, I can't necessarily speak on what it's like when they finally get the job in that environment, because just because the head of a company is trying to meet a quota, that doesn't mean the people that are training that person afterwards are. So only time will tell.
I think it takes a lot of work to change today's system, but I think if everyone puts their mind to it, it is possible.
I feel like, it's possible for anything to change, really. I feel like, the system is changing all the time. Whether it changes for better, we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, I do think so.
In terms of changing the system, I think it's a pretty complex question. I think it's because it depends what parts of the system you're expecting to change and what parts that we want to change. And obviously the domino effects of that. Things like the law, they definitely need to get better. But yeah, with that it depends on the system. Yeah, in terms of being stereotyped, yeah, definitely that happens a lot. Again, that one, if I'm back home in London, you can usually walk anywhere and you'll be absolutely fine. But I have been like walking with like my girlfriend in places like around here in Kent and just been stared at because it's such an anomaly. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. That definitely still happens, even in a country like this.
Actually, today in the grocery store, a woman who was working there was making sure that it felt like she was making sure I wasn't stealing anything. So I was standing there and waiting for my friends to pay, and she just kept circling me, going from the left side to the right side and pretending to do work while I was just standing there.
People will always have their stereotypes. They will always have their thoughts, their predetermined opinions, but let them.
I think my biggest advice for black creators right now is one, work out where you want to go. Work out if just creating is the important thing. You don't need to focus on things in Hollywood. I feel like we're able to build brands through like Instagram. You've seen people like King Batch, Vader and all that make it from Instagram or Vine into working with Netflix. I feel like you can just focus on you, build a team, people that also want to do that, and you can make it to anywhere without having to rely on a position that may require you to be hired by someone else or like moved up by someone else. I think right now making it on your own is very possible and is the best way moving forward.
My advice for young black creatives in the future is be yourself, and even if sometimes you have to bend to help others, make sure you maintain your self-identity.
Just keep making. Just keep trying, because at the end of the day, even if you don't do anything with it, it's something that you made, it's something that you can have to look back at, and yeah, just do it.